Hey, everybody, nobody can see me. Hold on. Why is that? There we go. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to my Thursday photo editing live stream where you can submit your images and I edit them live online with Olympus Workspace, or if it's a different camera, I use Lightroom sometimes. And then also I put my picture out there for you guys to edit. It's always good to see or fun to see what you guys can do with my image. And it's good practice, right? You can see all the different edits from everybody, and then download the image and try for yourself, because there's some really good creative edits you guys do. You guys are amazing. So we're all here just to kind of have some fun and maybe learn a few editing tips and tricks, and you know see how I compose things. And I try to think out loud my thought process of how I edit things, but for the most part, um, you know, I do my best, and I limit it to just a 4 minute per image, best I can, to, so I can get through them all. Because there's quite a few here again today, which is, I'm always amazed. You guys send so many images. But okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I gave you a tough edit. I didn't think it was that hard. I thought this was a pretty easy one, actually. Um, to be honest, I was like, oh, because the one I gave you on on Tuesday was hard because there was not much to edit. Although you still came up with some good ideas, some of you. Uh, but this one I thought was pretty easy. Okay, I'm not on the right screen. Let's see. And I'm a little bit overexposed here, looks like, but who cares, right? All right, so let's go to this one. All right, so we'll start off with Randy. Randy, you always name your files in a way that you're always first, but that's fine. The trick is when everybody starts doing that, right, then it becomes a competition of whose image is going to come up first. All right. See what you shot with today. EM1 Mark II with a 7:14 f2.8, 14 millimeters at 4:1/640 at ISO 64. Okay. Yeah, I would still try to shoot ISO 200 whenever you can. And this is definitely a situation that you could have shot at ISO 200, no problem. Because what's that? That's about 2 stops more. That'll put you at like 1/2500th of a second. Yeah, you'd have been fine here. Because when you shoot ISO low, technically it can clip the highlights because it lowers the exposure down. And you would think that would save the highlights, but I think it does the opposite. Okay, is this a high-res shot? Let's see. Oh yeah, it is a high-res shot. Here's the resolution here, 10,000 by 7,000. So yeah, it's an 80 megapixel raw image. Wow. All right, let's see what we can do here. Um, yeah, this is high res. See if there's any chance of saving the highlights a little bit. Oh, my timer. Yeah, all these highlights here are blown. I bet Lightroom could bring these back pretty easily, but since we're in workspace, I can't do it. But I'm going to do black and white because I think the tones in the rock would be a lot more interesting in black and white. Let's do that. And yeah, I'm going to crop into just one little grain of sand, right, or pebble. Let's see what low key does. Just trying to see if there's any hope of bringing that back. Not really. We'll leave this on normal. Put this on sRGB. And I'm going to just see what dramatic tone looks like. Yeah, there we go. And then a slight tilt and crop, and I think I'm done. Yeah, it does look a little bit like an eagle right here. I can see that. There are the shoulders and the wings, and there's his chest. That is pretty cool. Um, all right, let's try a little tighter crop. I don't need too much foreground. In Warner Springs, California. Okay, a little vignette, and I'm going to call it right there. About an 8. Piece of cake. Let's do a before and after. So yeah, I think the dramatic tone effect really brought this picture alive, right? And I do like this eagle-looking rock. That's pretty crazy, the way that looks. So it's an interesting picture, and I really like how the tones came out with the dramatic tone. Because once I saw all this sand, I said, yeah, I bet there's some really good tones in here. So I just got lazy and took a shortcut and used the dramatic tone filter. But I think that came out really well. If we look at it full screen. Yeah, it's pretty nice. So you know, the only other thing I might do is just crank up the sharpness and turn off the turn off the noise filter. Because all your settings in camera carry over to workspace, so you have to turn them off and adjust them. Uh, you know, once you get back in the workspace if you don't need them. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Oh wow, this is pretty cool too. Let's see what we used EXIF wise. EM10 Mark III with the 14 to 42 kit lens at 35 f5.5 1/125th ISO 200 regular. Yeah, perfect settings. Really good settings here. Um, why is that zooming in so much? I like all the colors in here. You know, I'm gonna cheat again. Dramatic tone filter will. No, I thought it would really make this picture pop, but it's okay. I'm not crazy about it on this one. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, too much pop, right? Yeah, I agree. Uh, I think the composition though is fine. This corner is caught nicely. This corner is a little bit off, but this corner is good, and this one's okay. So it kind of balances with that one. And the lines are fairly straight. There's a mild, very, very mild keystoning error that we can correct for. So let's try that. Too much. Come back off, maybe about right there. Okay, so we fixed the keystoning, and I'm going to crank in some dehaze to see if I can bring some of the texture in the buildings back. And a little bit of clarity to make because there's some Christmas lights here, I want to pop a little bit, and clarity usually brings those out. It's not doing it this time, but okay. We'll leave that. And then let's bring some gradation. Oh, this is a JPEG. Okay, Steve. You blurred the edges and focused on the biker. Yeah, it looks like this was processed a little bit already. That's why the dramatic tone didn't work too well, because this is a JPEG image. Usually the art filters, you have to be working with a raw image, and then you get the best effect from them. Kind of like we did on Randy's image, the dramatic tone really brought out all of the tones, but on a JPEG, it just wouldn't do that. I think I need to back off this keystoning a little bit more. Okay. And then a slight tilt. And a little bit more keystone. All right. I'm just obsessed with getting lines straight sometimes. Some vignette, and let's Let's add some saturation, a little more gradation. And let's see. I'm going to bring the midtones out just a little more. Leave that alone. Just give it a little different look by tweaking these tone curves and the colors individually. All right, almost out of time. Let me tack on some sharpness. And oh, out of time. All right. So let's see. The composition was fine, I think, the way it is. But yeah, so I need to back the colors off a tiny bit. A little bit too saturated. Just a tiny bit here. All right. Now I'm done. Okay, so I kind of turned it a little bit more surreal, I guess. Straightened out some of the keystoning error, and mess with the colors just to give them a little bit more interest, I guess. I don't know how to describe what I did with the colors, but I tried to make it just looks a little more surreal, right? And the colors, I think, really pop now. So that's totally a personal preference type image, right? You could go really a lot of directions with this image. But yeah, it's really nice, Steve. Hi, Adam. How are you? Not a fan of the windows in the top right corner. Oh, yeah, right here. Yeah, I'm not a big fan either. If I was going to crop, maybe like that. That would be an okay crop. And I got rid of most of the windows here. But I kind of like the I mean, maybe a wide shot. I came in a little bit on the wide, a little bit off the left. I guess the wide shot's okay too, and that gets rid of the windows. But I kind of like the vertical shot that I did. This vertical. I thought that vertical worked pretty well right there. But okay, let's go to the next one. It's a nice shot though, Steve. Um, crop and color to taste basically, but that's the direction I would go with all of that in terms of cropping and color. Okay, let's see, another one from Steven. All right, so we have the EM10 Mark III, kit lens at 42 at 5.6, 1/125th. Wow, so you misfocus a little bit, or it's motion blur. Your shutter speed is just too slow. So I would have bumped the ISO up a little bit because there's just nothing in focus here. So let's just crop this a little bit and see. Like, I don't like this sign on the left. Get a little bit of that tree in the corner. Well, not that much. Right about there. And this mannequin and this mannequin is kind of bookending the image a little bit. Let me come in much tighter. Give a little bit more room there. And this thing is so out of focus. I don't think any sharpening I do is going to help. Okay, let's bring up the midtones. Just pull a little bit here. Then we'll do some clarity. Because the lights are pretty distinct here. And add a little bit of saturation. Still not quite happy with this. We're trying to focus on this tree. It's kind of in focus, but I think you have motion blur. That's why it looks out of focus. At shutter speed, it needs to be, when you're at 42 millimeters, you need to be at least 1/100th of a second at that focal length, because you're at 42 millimeters. I'm still not happy with this crop. Let me experiment a little bit with this crop. Let me look at a vertical. Too much tree. Let me see what that looks like. I think I like this a little better. This looks like the same location because of these windows. Like further down the street into the mall. So you're doing a photo walk that day and got 2 shots in. Okay, I want to see if I can bring out these golden leaves. Needs to be toned down a bit, huh? Yeah, maybe. Oh, I'm down to my last few seconds here. Let me just play with the color a little bit, just give it a little different look. And oh, hey Walter, how are you? Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, I have to call it. So we'll do a before and after. So the picture on the left, yeah, that oh, I didn't see it, but I need to crop this just a little bit more. Okay. Give me 1 second here. I think, okay, right there. Now I'm done. So there's the before and after. Yeah, this tree on the left was just too much, I think, for the image. It was just overpowering everything else in the scene, and it's all cut off and it's blurry. So I just cut it out and did a vertical crop, and I think this is a little more interesting right here. And then of course the processing I just tweaked, to taste. But yeah, a faster shutter speed would have made this a little crispier, but that's it. A vertical with a lady in one tree, maybe. But these 2 trees are too close together. I don't think I could I could do a vertical that tight. Yeah, see? Yeah, that just doesn't look right because the other tree is right there. But okay, let's move on. It came out okay though, right? Thanks, Lysippus. Break out the chainsaw. All right. What do we got here? Some moldy or moss covered trees. From Scott Munford, E510 14 to 42, 32 millimeters, 1/80th ISO 400. Yep, good settings. Very good settings. This is like an old 6 megapixel camera or something. My goodness. Um, you don't know what you saw in it? Well, you know, Scott, I see some symmetry here with these two trees. And and of course the moss and everything is always interesting. Right in here is interesting. So I'm going to square crop this like so. And if we get right in here and then get rid of the sky, I think right in here is the most interesting part. And then we just do a, let's see, we have no art filters because this is an old camera. I'm going to have to do this manually. Um, Let me change this back to sRGB. Oh, this is so hard to do manually. Let me see. We'll warm it up a tiny bit more. Let me just center this off a little bit this way. Pull in a little dehaze, clarity, sharpness. Turn that off. And right about there. Wow, I got no adjust color. I got, oh my God, this camera. This camera is, it's tough to edit photos on this camera. I don't have any of the tools that I normally would. I need to bring the midtones up a little bit. Right there. Then we'll back off. Yeah, you know, in Lightroom, I could do a much better job with this. I may come back to this if there's time, but I'm pretty much done here. Because there's not, what I'll do is I need to pull off a little bit of green right here. Yeah, I already did the sharpening. I could do a little more clarity, I suppose. But I don't want it to get too gritty either, you know? I think right about there. And then just a very slight vignette, maybe about a 5. I got no art filters. Dang it. Like a soft focus art filter would be perfect here. A little heavier vignette. Okay. And I'm going to give this a star because I'm going to try to come back to this maybe in Lightroom if there's time, but let's do it before and after. So yeah, I know when you're walking on the scene, you see something that looks nice, and actually it is nice, but it's all right in here. This is, I think, what draws the eyes, all this color and this little path and this symmetry of the trees. And the only distracting part is this road and the sky. The sky and the road offer nothing to this image. So I just tried to isolate what was, drawing our eye to this scene. All of these colors, these red flowers and all of this would have came out really well if it was a little newer camera with some art filters. I could have probably done a lot more. But as it is, that's where we're at. Yeah, maybe you saw goat, huh? All right. Let's see what we got here. This is from Bob. EM1 Mark II with a 14 to 54 at 54 millimeters at 6.3, 1/200th, ISO 200 pattern. Yep, all perfect settings as usual. I think the sky is gone again. Well, no, there's some sky here. I'm going to pull this down and see if I can do that. And I'll think about a composition later. I just want to see what kind of details I have. Let me try some dehaze. Okay, good. Let me do that. And then auto RGB. That. Then back the sharpness back in, filters off, good. And just a touch of clarity here. Okay. Now let's look at a crop. Super wide. Maybe not that wide. Let's try 16 by 9. And warm it up a little bit more. A little more warmth. And see if we pull. Let me do something here. Okay. A touch here. A little touch here. Yikes. Why is that purple? I pulled the tones in too much. Okay. I think that's as much as I can do in the time I have. All right, let's do a before and after. And I'm not happy with this composition I did here. But the processing is pretty sound. You know, I just basically had to warm it up and bring the contrast back in. And I was able to save the sky this time, which is hard to do in workspace. But let's do a full screen. Yeah, so we can see the details here in the house. It'd have been nice to get my eyes to draw into this scene right here. But the way it is now, you know, your eyes kind of go all over the image. So it's a little bit chaotic in that sense. Ah, there's sheep. Oh man, how'd I miss that? Look at that. See, a little tighter crop, your eyes aren't so distracted and going all over the place. But let me just try a little tighter crop and get it in a way that draws the eye in. I think maybe like that. I mean, that helps a little bit, I think. Now you can see there's sheep and everything here. And it does draw your eye in a little bit, all this open space here on the bottom right into the homes here. And then you still have this backdrop of rolling hills. So that's another option, but I think the key to this image is really where to crop it so your eyes don't go all over the place. Walter says he liked it better with the sky, so the detailed view in the image is also nice. Yeah, you never see the wolf. That's true. But yeah, my original 16:9 crop here, my challenge here is your eyes are all over the place and not focused on anything. But okay, still a nice image though, Bob. Really good job. Yeah, multiple images in this shot, right? I think you could definitely take that a lot of different ways. Yeah, Simon likes this crop like I did without the sky, just a little bit towards the bottom left, I think was a little bit easier to look at than the whole thing. Okay, so we have one here from DeMorkin and CM10 Mark II with a 12-60 from Panasonic. And we're 22 millimeters, f4.2, 1/350th of a second, ISO 2. Yep, all good settings as usual. We have some plant barrels and, oh, Elaine, oh my goodness, Elaine, how are you? Always good to see you. I have an interesting shadow and graffiti. So this is an abandoned home because the power box is totally gone. I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. Let me think. This picture is really a mess. And I'm just going to focus on the plants and the graffiti and this one little shadow of tree and this board. I think right there. I like this shadow here going over the graffiti, And this down here is okay. I'm going to go with that. And let me see what the color's like. Color's a mess. So, wow. What is DeMorgan saying? I send you the ones I'm curious to see what you do. The easy ones I do myself. Yeah, I can't, I don't blame you because I do the same thing to you guys, right? I send you the ones that I don't edit myself because I think they're too hard. So I guess what goes around comes around, right? All right, let's see if the shadows are worth saving. Let me do an auto gradation. Oh, you like this shadow too, right? Right up in here. Yeah, there's nothing in the shadows down here worth saving, so I'm gonna leave that to normal. And I'm gonna go to monochrome to get rid of the color. The color's kind of distracting from the shadows. Because all I want are the tones now. Let me do that. Touch of this. And what is, this was all green, so let's put a red filter to darken those out. And that should bring out the Scotty a little bit. Or hide the, it's hiding the graffiti actually. Okay, that's good. And throw in a heavy vignette. And then let's pull the blacks a lot so we get the shadows in. Just like so. All I really care about is the shadows, and then we can, this is too bright down here. Let me do this. Oops. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Let's split tone it a tiny bit. And yeah, this line crossing the top, I agree. I agree. Yeah, that helps. That helps. 6 seconds. Do I want a cold tint? Yeah, we'll just give it a little bit cooler tint here and we'll call it right there. And the shadow's a little bit warmer. Okay. Whew. All right. Yeah, that was a tough one. Sepia. That's right. But there's the before and after. Uh, yeah, that shadow of that tree hitting the wall is the best part. And then the barrels are kind of interesting underneath. And then the shadows, the shadow area above the barrel was not interesting. So I definitely crushed those back to black. But I think that came out okay, considering what I started with. Um, let's just look at it by itself. You know, that's a little more interesting all by itself, I think. Um, I think this picture by itself doesn't work that great, but if it's part of a series, I think this image would stand out as one of the better ones, but by itself, it's like, you know. Okay. You put a head laying in the ground under the board. That's funny. All right. John Yutze. Let's see what we got here. Um, Easy controller. So I don't know what this is. Might be a cell phone or something. We have no resolution to speak of. This is barely a 3 megapixel image, like a 2.6 megapixel image. Let's see. Oh, it's film. Okay, so you scan this at 2.6 megapixels. All right, that makes sense. So let's see if we can keep that film look without let me think. Let's add a, oh, where's my timer? Let's add a little saturation. And, whoops. I'm going to try and not mess with the colors. Let's just keep the film colors, but we'll just work with the tones, the luminance and brightness of things. Something like that. And okay, kind of there. Now, compositionally, needs a slight tilt. Film is, yeah, 3:2. Get rid of the sky. Although I like the leaves back here. Let's see what that looks like. Hmm. Where's the boat? That's a good question. Uh, Bring in a little more sharpness. I don't know, maybe I'm trying too hard to preserve the film look. But this still looks like film, I think. Yeah, it's got the film grain. Let's just add some vignette because it is just to make, you know, vignette in the old days was definitely was okay. And I'm just not sure about this crop. I think I think this is where I'll leave it. Oh, HKM, yeah. I'm trying to get through these fast as I can. I think I'm going to call it here because I don't want to take away from the film colors and everything. So I just had to compose it so it's at least a little more interesting. Because the building and everything behind it is so distracting. So I cut out as much of that as I can. And keeping them front and center was really the only way to go. Wow, yeah, this picture. I think that's all I can do. I'm just not seeing anything else compositionally that I can make this more interesting. Looks stoned. All right. Okay, John, there you go. That's all I can do. Oh, that was a tough one. Man, you guys are sending really hard ones today. Let's see what we got here. This is from Simon. Oh, black and white. Oh no, it's a raw image. EM1 Mark III with a 7 to 14 at 12 millimeters at 5.6, 116. Yep, all good settings. So you did this black and white in camera. I wonder, let me just see what the colors look like. Oh, wow. I have some reds here. And then the black and white is what? This? Oops. I I don't know if keeping the color, this red, blue, green, have all the primary colors right in this corner. I don't think I can get two signs in and keep this image. I mean, I get the contradiction here, pedestrians, and it says no access for pedestrians. So I think for the photo is perfect the way it is because of the information given here, the contradiction of these two signs. But if you want me to edit it somehow, I'm struggling a little bit on editing because these two signs in terms of composition just don't jive for me. They're out of balance. Uh, all right. This is I'm gonna lead with Bob's idea. 16 by 9 to crop out the sky. I don't know if this is the way to go or not because it's just way too busy down here versus the simplicity of these two signs. My original thought was actually right here because I have all three colors going red, green, and blue with some grays and then an accent of this orange. I'm gonna go with this. Once you start in a direction, you can't stop, right? Dramatic tone, and then let's see. Look at the composition one more time. I get a little more headroom. All right. Yeah, I get it, Lauren. That sign on the right, the two signs contradict each other, right? So really the picture doesn't need any editing because everything is in the signs. But I'm trying to edit this for I'm trying to edit this to make it just balance correctly. But I can't do it. Oops. Why is this not 16 by 9 anymore? I mean, if we go up this way, I can't crop it too much because of the way these signs are so tight in the image. or they're so far left and right. I guess I can leave it like this. Add a little more dehaze and clarity just to kind of make it a little punchier. Throw the sharpness back in. And nah, 16 by 7 would be way too wide. I'm going to show you, Bob, but I think that's going to be way too wide. I don't see it. Oh, I'm out of time. We'll leave it on 16 by 7. But there's the original on the left, which was, he shot it black and white in camera, but he did send me a raw image. And then the image on the right, the biggest challenge was the composition. Because like I was saying, the picture itself doesn't need to be composed or done anything because the signs are really everything. But then to edit this and compose it really doesn't add any value to the image in any way. Although I think my edit does look better than the original, but it doesn't add a ton of value to the image because the value is all in what the signs say. Okay, there you go. All right, you're welcome, Simon. I tried. Let's go to the next one because let me see how many I got down here. Oh my God, I got so many. All right, I'm gonna go fast. This will be an easy one. This is from Ivan, EM5 Mark III with a 40 to 150 Pro and a teleconverter at 210 millimeters f4, 1/200 to ISO 800. Good job. Shutter speed's a little bit low, but luckily this bird wasn't moving, so everything is pretty tack sharp. So let me work on the sharpness first. Let's do an unsharp mask. Let's do about a 1, or let's do about a 10 here. Okay, be a tad more. Oh, thanks, Bob. Let me see if that did anything. I'm going to turn sharpness off. Turn it back on. I have my threshold up a little bit too high. Pull in a tiny bit more. Okay, good. And then we'll do a square. Oops, I didn't put myself or the timer in, but there we go. This edit won't take too long. I'm actually, because it was already taken, the original image was taking so well that, and the subject is clear and everything, right? So these kind of images are not difficult to edit, actually. Come in a little tighter. That branch needs a little more headroom. I mean, a little more space on the right. All right. And I don't think I need a pop filter even. There's so much color in the image. I just have to saturate it a little more. And tiny bit of clarity. Maybe that'll bring the eye out a little bit more. Okay, and then let's just warm it up and I'm going to be done. Let's go to about 5800. Maybe, yeah, right there. Pull off a tad of the magenta. Did we clip a highlight here? A little bit. I didn't notice that. Let me see what happens here. All right. Let's do that. All right. So this image is going to take a little longer. Hold on. Let me put a pin. Yeah, I'm going to put a pin right here and just bring up the midtones. Dang it. We might have to leave those highlights clipped because I'm just losing kind of all of the... Okay. Try just the orange head. That would be a little bit too tight. You can see it's slightly off focus a little bit. I think it's the depth of field doing it, not the lens. Not that they miss focus, but the depth of field is so shallow. All right, I think that's it. I'm gonna bring a little bit down here. Unfortunately, yeah, those highlights are clips, so I'm gonna have to leave it. Yeah, the cute bird would pull it off. Okay, I'm gonna call it here. Let's do a before and after. So basically, I warmed it up and cropped in, tweaked the sharpness a tiny bit, and there you have it. I think it looks better, a little bit warmer. I'm just a little disappointed I couldn't save the highlights. Again, it's a workspace limitation, not the image. I could definitely bring these highlights back in Lightroom. You know, and this big giant bubble bokeh thing here is very distracting, so that's partially why I cropped it out. But everything else looks good. All right, let's see. Got one here from Ed. This is a snowy waterfall. Wow, let me see if I can make the reds pop in this a little bit. And just real quick on the XF EM5 Mark III, 12 to 45 Pro, f6.3, 1/10 of a second. So we're doing slow shutter speed on purpose. I'm not going to criticize the shutter speed at all. There's a little bit of color here. Red and green kind of works. And I wonder, I really like actually just this one. I like this area right in here. I don't like this down here too much. I'm gonna try and capitalize on that right here. Just give it a slight tilt. All right, and bring the gradation in. More saturation. And You warm it up a little bit. Oh, that's too warm. Go back. What if we just use this and say that's white? Looks like the Gatorade stream. You guys are funny. Not sure if I cropped this properly because the water is just a little bit too. Well, even the trees aren't that interesting. Maybe right there. All right, almost there. Come on, don't do that. You like the wide crop? Yeah, the wide crop was kind of interesting, but once I saw what's, I don't know, if I just crop a little taller, I can get more of this in here, and then I don't really need all of that. So I think that's where I'm gonna, oh, I'm out of time. So that's where I have to end it. Let's see how it looks. um, yeah, essentially I wanted to be able to see the ice crystals a little bit better and a little tighter. You know, the little icicles hanging down. And then the trees in the background, I thought, you know, the red would contrast sort of the green algae water a little bit. It didn't work out too well. You know, the only other option, never eat yellow snow, is like, let's go monochrome. I think monochrome is a little more interesting. Then I can just, you know, all the colors are not distracting anymore. And to me, that's a pretty solid image too. Just going black and white. Okay, it's a nice shot of the waterfalls though. Yeah, mono with dehaze. Yeah, I already cranked up the dehaze quite a bit. As you can see, I'm already at 100. Maybe a tiny bit more clarity, but there we go. All right, let me move on. Thank you, Ed Krisiak. Yeah, the black and white was better, right? Oh, look at this. This has got fog, leading lines, creepy trees. Okay. This is from John Harvey. And we use the M10 Mark III with a kit lens at 14 millimeters f11, 1/4 second ISO 200. Wow, why f11? You could have done this probably at f5.6, I think, because God knows how you got no motion blur, because this is pretty sharp. This is pretty sharp image for a 1/4 second shot. You wanted the depth. Yeah, you get plenty of depth at 5.6, even f8, but f11 is a little bit much. Okay, so let's just take this another level here. Soft focus, crank up the saturation. Um, there. On a heavy vignette and go pretty heavy. Well, maybe not that much. Maybe about there. And crop wise, I think this fence is pretty much all the way into the frame, so we have to keep it. But I think a little bit tighter right there. Maybe not right there. Maybe about right there. And then in this side a little bit. Yeah. I know Bob and I are always on the same page, you know, square crop, lose the top a little bit. Yeah. After I did the square crop, I saw your comment. Now we're on the same page. I think something like this. Just keep it a little bit right in there. Let me throw the sharpness back in. Turn off this filter. And let's play with the, I want the shadows to be a little bit, I don't know, cooler maybe? Or warmer. Yeah, a little bit cooler on the shadows, and then the highlights keep about right. But let's cool off the shadows a tiny bit. And now look at green. I try and bring, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it on this curve. Yeah, that's, I don't know if that helped or not. Let me get rid of this. All right, one more time, since I got 20 seconds. I'm just trying to accentuate the greens down in here a little bit without jacking up the greens everywhere else or making everything too red everywhere else. I don't think I can get it quite right. Yeah, that's not bad. All right, we'll call it. I didn't get the colors quite where I wanted, but not bad. And this crop needs to be a little tighter on the right. Maybe about like that. Okay, so let's do a comparison here. So it's a really great shot to start with. So all I had to do was really just find a crop, a composition. It was just a little bit too much fence. So I just cropped in, cut, whoops, you know, right in here. And a little bit too much down here. So I think this square crop works. And, you know, softening the image and then messing with the colors and contrast, I think we got it. All right. Yeah, that came out pretty good. All right, great shot though. It's, you know, good shot, John. Thank you. All right. Kilo in. Let's see. We have, what did we do? Probably a 60 macro. Yeah, 60 millimeter macro, EM1 Mark II, f2.8. Yep, all good settings. If you had a flash, you could have probably got a little lower ISO, but still, Even a 1600 ISO, that's really good. From fog to frog, right? So let's fix the white balance. The white balance is really weird. I'm just not getting this white balance. All right, I can't get the white balance right, so I'm just gonna let me pop art it before I go black and white, because I see some different colors in this frog. I can bring those out, maybe. They're just a little bit too muted. Ugh. I see black and white. Yeah, I'm gonna go black and white. I just can't get the white balance right. Go a lot tighter. Okay, nice vignette. Do a green filter. A haze. Tiny bit of clarity. And split tone it. There. All right. More space in the front. No, I think that this works. Maybe a slight tilt. So there. And a little sharpness never hurts. Turn off this filter. Oh, he was at 1600 ISO. I'm gonna just put that on low. And I think I'll call it right there. I only got 10 seconds left anyway. So let that render out. And that should be pretty decent. All right, let's go to the next one. Whoops. All right, Kilo, oh, you're here. It's got nowhere to hop to. I mean, there's some good colors in this frog. I just wasn't able to bring it out. I don't know if I switch the color back real quick. Let me see what happens. Oh, I got colors here I could have messed with, but in the time frame that I had, what I really wanted to do is bring out all of the individual colors of this frog, but I just didn't have enough. I wouldn't have had enough time, in other words, to mess with this color wheel. But you should be able to bring out the individual colors of this frog a little more later. And this was from DeMorgan. Oh, this is an edit from my last thing. Little late entry there. Mission Impossible. Okay, cool. And Malia from Alberto Cornejo. You know, I think I've seen this picture on Instagram. I must follow you or something, or you came up in my feed. I did click like on it. I remember that, this image. I don't know if you're here or not, but if this is the one I saw on Instagram, let me know. But I think it is. So let's see what we did here. EM10 Mark III with a kit lens at 38 f 5.6 1/10 ISO 4. Wow. That shutter speed is way too slow for an animal. Because animals are always twitching and moving, you know? Just the slightest twitch or move and 1/10 of a second is going to, you know, it's going to be rough. So you can see, I think even here is a little bit of motion blur. But that dog is amazingly still for 1/10 of a second shot. Wow, okay. So let's, and this is a JPEG, so let's use gradation to bring up the shadows a little bit, a little more, because I'm going to crush them back again. And I'm not sure what to do with the white balance here. Maybe a tad warmer. One more notch. Okay. I don't like that all the colors are the same again. They're so close together, I don't think I can really separate the dog. Here. Without a paintbrush like I have in Lightroom, it's really hard to separate things. Hmm. Usually with animal pictures, I try to do the subject separation using a flash or with some kind of light. Okay, Bob, we'll see you later. I know it's really late over in the UK, right? I'm going to go with a black and white and pump up the vignette and everything else. Go back to my blue filter. Not do too much there. Let's make it kind of a sepia. All right, I'm going to call it right there. I don't think there's much more I can do here. But yeah, you know, animals are tough, right? Because you got to catch them at the right moment. And they're not always in the perfect position. But for this shot, I'd probably use the flash and crush the ambient light behind the dog to separate him a little more. He's just a little bit too blended in with the rest of the area here. But there we go. So let's do before and after. And I think at least on the right, I was able to bring the eyes out a little more. And a slight crop would probably be in order. I think a square crop. You know, because we don't really need that paw on the left. And I mean, the ears being all perky are kind of cool though. Let me see if I can crop out a little bit of the ear. It's okay. Eh, it's okay. I don't like this fan over there. But that's another option in terms of cropping. All right. Beautiful dog though. Really nice. And I think that came out pretty good. But the dog makes the image. Not my editing. The dog is just awesome. Malia. Must be Malia at 5 months. That's awesome. Awesome dog. Little puppy. That's going to be a big dog when he gets older. Lauren. Wow, you're so lucky to be at this beautiful, beautiful scene, you know, to live near this. Man, the highlights are all clipped up here. Then you have this couple here, which they almost look like models. Such a good looking couple. Too bad we can't see her face. Wow. All right, this won't take too long because it's a JPEG. Yeah, replace the fan with a sky, right? Let's go a little bit wide and come right in on the couple. This looks like a corporate picture, and you can put a logo over here on the left. And then I'm going to brush out that buoy. Like so. And let's change the, oh, let's add some sharpness. Let's put some gradation back in. Just a tiny bit more. And I don't know. That's not what I wanted to do. Not 16 by 9. I'm going to come in right there. Yeah, that's kind of where I was before. Too tight. Right there. A little more gradation. Oh, not too much. I'm getting banding. Right in here, and I'm getting banding, so I can't push the shadows too much. I'll crush them back down over here. Just a little bit. Oh, not that. Although I did kind of like how that looked a little bit. I like what it did with the color. Made it very vintage looking. This almost film-like. What did you shoot this with? GX85, 45 millimeter, 1/1000th. Yep, that looks good. Uh, when I was pulling the red filter though, I lost the hand holding and other stuff. Yeah, a little bit. You're right. I'll bring that back. I'm just gonna pull this a little colder. I don't know if the hand holding helps. Because then all I can look at are jeans when I do that. So I can't do that. Nah, don't like that at all. I don't care they're holding hands. Um, I'd rather look at their faces here. And then just warm it up a bit and I'm done. Pull back the saturation a tad. All right, so there's the before and after. Yeah, I like it. I like, yeah, I get it that you can't see they're holding hands, but I mean, as nice as this part of the image is, it just stands out too much from the rest of the image. So I had to kind of mitigate the jeans and just go with really the scene of them looking at, or him looking at her. The fact that they're standing that close together, I think the message is conveyed that they're very close. Um, but yeah, her jeans just don't fit the rest of the image. Okay, let's go to the next one. Yeah, the phone, right? Thank you. The phone is a little bit off. I'd like to crop in tighter, but then I'm just losing too much of the scene. I crop in like right there. That's a little bit too tight on their bodies. I think just cropping just below their waistline is a little better than this. But okay, let me move on. I'm down to, oh my God, I got 5 more. 6, yeah, 5 more here, and then who knows what's in Lightroom. Wow, look at this, Ian. Wow, EM5 with a 12 to 50. F6.3, 1/125th, ISO 200. Wow, okay. Um, Man, we just got to straighten this out. And like 1 degree, a bit more. And see if we can get rid of this foreground somewhat. Not really. Go very tight. This looks like Hawaii to me. I don't know where it is, but it looks a little bit like Hawaii. All right, let's dehaze. Oh, Milford Sound, New Zealand. Yeah, New Zealand is beautiful too, right? Okay, let's warm it up a little bit. Uh, yeah, 7,000, that looks good. And, oh, we have eye enhance on. Interesting. Let's turn that on the high and see what happens. Okay. Throw the sharpness back in, turn off the noise filter. Uh, Tiny bit of clarity. A slight tilt more. All right. I think that's it. All right. So the water's crooked still. I thought I straightened it out pretty well. But there we go. Yeah, that whole foreground is not working. So I cropped out as much as I can. Unfortunately, we still got that one little branch sticking out. If it actually had flowers on it still, it'd be really pretty, but it doesn't. Looks like we got a helicopter up here in the corner. Right here. Interesting. And then we have a little boat down here. All kinds of interesting things going on. So if we actually looked at this image by itself, you know, there's lots of interesting things here. So yeah, it's a beautiful picture. Okay, let's go to the next one. Yeah, I thought the crop worked. Thank you, Ed. Let's see, this one, oh, I did this one last week. Why is this still here? Yeah, this one I did, because I remember the starlight effect. This is from Adam Favre. Are you still here, Adam? Didn't I do this already? This looks really familiar. I think you edited this. This doesn't look exactly like my edit. It looks like you were trying to do what I was doing a little bit. Because this is very familiar. So I'm gonna leave it. I think I've done this one. Um, okay, Lauren, we'll see you later. Thanks for coming in. I think I've done this one, but I'll save it just in case. I'm pretty sure though. This feels really familiar. M1 Mark II. Yeah, I've done this one. Okay. So we'll go back. Uh, there's some leaves here. The leaves are pretty, but it's not enough. EM1 Mark II, 12 to 40 Pro, f2.8. Yep, good settings. This is from Dave Nelson. Oh, Dave is here. All right, Dave. So these leaves are awesome, but I think let me see. We need to crop and get rid of stuff here. Let's just do a square crop and pick one or two leaves here that are interesting. Maybe oh this leaf down here in the bottom left is all right. Not great, but let me see. Uh thing road here. What that leaf? Hmm. No, this one is a little better. Oh, how about this one? No, it's got a shadow on it. All right, I'm gonna stick with this one leaf. All right, so this one leaf is just kind of lead your eye into the frame a little bit. That's kind of where I was going. And then we'll just pop our... Okay, John, we'll see you later. You couldn't find the lighter fluid? That's funny. Wow, that's crazy strong color. Let's back that off. Pull in the sharpness. And some vignette. And warm it up a little bit. Don't give Rob too many choices. You're funny. All right, now let's work with this curve a little bit. Oh, that's the red curve. Hold on. All right. And on the reds, can we pull the reds back a little bit? Like so. Come back in the highlights maybe? No. Yeah, a tiny bit. But pull the reds out a lot right there. Okay, a tiny bit of clarity. And a little bit, let me think, a little bit less vignette. Go back to about an 8. And John, you'd say no. Maybe soft focus, but I've already gone with the pop art. I only got 10 seconds, but I'll show you soft focus. I'd have to redo the tone curves with soft focus, but I don't think it works quite as well. I'm gonna stay with the pop art. Oh my God, thank you, Randy. You're so generous. I'm gonna go with this because I'm out of time. The soft focus, I'd have to start over because when I do soft focus, I have to do a very different processing. But okay, let's do it before and after. So I think, my goal here was really to find one interesting leaf. So my eye was drawn to this one and this one. And then everything up here was out of focus. So I picked this one to be in the bottom right corner to kind of lead your eye into the frame somewhat, and then let the leaves fall where they may everywhere else. And then just mess with the color and tones and everything to kind of get it to, I don't know, look something like something, right? All right, David, that's the best I could do there. I think it came out okay, considering what we started with, which was just a big scene of a street covered with leaves. All right. Let's see what we got here. This is from Thanos, Metallinos. And Merry Christmas, Randy. Thanks again. Thank you very much, Randy. I appreciate it. Randy always supports my channel like this. It's awesome. I'm very grateful. Okay, so we got some good detail here. What do we shoot with? This is the M10 Mark II with a 35 to 100 f4. At 35 f6.3. Yep, good settings. Um, yeah, impressionist look. Maybe we could do that here too, but let's do a super wide crop. Get rid of, I don't know if we need to get rid of the sidewalk or not, but let me work with just the water and sky. Yeah, I like that. Need a little more space around the boat on the left. Oops. Let me see if I keep the sidewalk in. No, I'm gonna work with just the water and sky right there. In 10 minutes, I say soft focus, maybe. Fast focus. Fast focus, you're killing me. Yeah, soft focus might not be bad here though. But let's not do that this time. Let's just work with it as it is. Let's warm it up a little bit more. See where that takes us. We need more. All right, I like that kind of. The water looks a little bit less blue though. Back it off a little bit. All right. And let's hit it up with some dehaze and see how much that helps, if any. Little bit. I don't know if I'm getting the warmth that I want out of this image though. Um, Bleach bypass, interesting idea. Let me explore that. No, it's too busy. Yeah, soft focus is crap too. So I'm gonna stick with this. Oh, I don't have my timer on. All right, I'll go for 2 more minutes on this. A little more dehaze and clarity. Maybe we can bring the whites up a little bit. All right. Oh, HKM, I'm sorry. I'm sorry it's so late over there. Uh, Maybe a little gradation. Oh, we're already there. I'll double check though. Already there on gradation. All right, let me work with the individual colors. The blue is just off for me. I don't know. That helps a little bit. And then let me see the reds right in here. And the greens will do the same. Dang it. Okay. Uh, I'm kind of technically out of time because I spent a couple of minutes before I hit the timer. All right, let's see where we're at. I have to call it. Oh, a little better. Only a little. I it's okay. This was a tough edit. I really tried to warm it up, but then when I did that, I lost kind of the richness of the ocean being so blue. And then when I tried to bring it back, I tried to make it a little more teal as well, which it does look a little more teal, but still the white balance is just off. Because the background is very, very warm and the foreground is very, very cold. So just warming it up just makes the foreground too yellow, which loses the blue. But I think it came out okay. I think the crop works though. At least the crop is right. Uh, all by itself, it looks pretty good. I just wish. Ah, okay. Let's see one more here, and then we'll go to Lightroom, and maybe we're done. John follows with the EM1X 12 to 45 Pro, 16 millimeter f5, 1/125th ISO 200. Yep, very good. All right, so this one, I think this will be the same thing, really. It's very similar to the one Scott sent in. We'll do a soft focus, and then let's just pull everything in like so. And then, where is it? Oh my goodness, Walter, you're still here? Are you fading in and out with me? A little bit warmer. Some vignette. And let's crop this a little bit. I need to balance these stones and this tree. Let me try square crop again. I wonder, it's almost like this is a burial site or something. Like somebody's leaving flowers for, like somebody was buried here. And I'm losing the base of the tree or the stones. That's close enough. Uh, and this green has to go a little bit more magenta. Yeah. Add. I wonder if a black and white would make this. I mean, I love the. I just I'm not bringing out the reds and greens too well here. See, black and white. Maybe not. Look at the natural. Hmm. If this was more red, I would probably stay in this. Elaine, everybody wants to do color. I can make the contrast in the black and white. I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about this. This green is just off somehow. No. Yeah, I think HKM is right. Maybe desaturate the green a little bit. 10 seconds. Come on. Oh, I'm not gonna make it. Dang it. I was really trying to give this a more surreal feel and pull this back. All right. Yeah, darken the greens a tiny bit. All right, I have to call it there. I'm really out of time now. Oof, okay, so whoops. I should have went with my first thought about black and white, but anyway, I did separate the reds and greens a little bit better, I guess. When you look at them side by side, you can see how much green there was versus the reds. Uh, and yeah, getting rid of the sky, the very bright sky, it just was distracting from the picture. But now you can focus on the stones, and it's a little more balanced too, uh, overall. I think just a little more something, and this would be perfect. All right. It's okay. It's okay, this edit. I'm not 100% on board with it. A little heavier vignette. Let's see what's in Lightroom. All right, thanks guys. I appreciate it. I try. It's it's workspace, so what are you gonna do, right? Let's um let's see what Lightroom has. Second. It's loading. 1 second. There we go. Go to the viewer edits. Synchronize this folder. Man, 42 images. Wow. Okay, here are the viewer edits. And let me get these out of the main group and see if I missed anything here. Oh, there's one here. I've done all of these. There's one here. And I've done those. On that one. Oh, one here from Surge. Okay. So it looks like 3 more shots here in Lightroom. Let me just give it one more look. Done those. Those. Yep. Okay. I will kill this. Kill workspace off. Paste that out. All right, very good. Oh, Pony. Let's see, this is Nikon D7100, f2.8, ISO 100. Okay, good. With the 80 to 200 f2.8. Wow, that's a cool lens. From Ula Moran, Marin, E-Gray Project. Wow, this thing is standing on a hill because see the cars and these poles? That's what's really making this hard. It's like a Dutch angle, but it's not. Let me see. Um, Let me just click auto here, just to kind of get a feel. Just touch the color. Okay. And do a radial. Try and separate this thing a little bit more. Where's my feathering? Where's the feather? Oh, there it is. Let's pull that back. Pull the highlights in. Okay. Dang it, I want this horse to be standing straight so bad, but it would just, what does that do? That makes it look really weird. But I'm gonna go with that. I just can't stand this horse being crooked. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this make any sense or not? Um, oh, I'll look for it, HCam. Maybe did you HCam, did you send it in after the stream started? That would be why I don't have it. I can pull it up real quick though. Let me just go to that page. All right, let me get back to this pony first and I'll look for yours. Yeah, I think I see it. Looks like some kind of parking lot or something. Um, I just don't know about this crop. Elaine, yours wasn't there either. I think I see it. I think you guys submitted all this stuff after the fact. I'm gonna go with this. Oh, that's too much. Something like that. I don't know if I even need the whole horse in here. Maybe just crop in on his eye. All right. God, just the front legs? That looks weird too. Oh my God, I'm dying here. I don't know what to do with a horse on a hill, but I'm out of time. All right, so let's look at the before and after. Um, Wait, why is this toolbar here? No, no. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Hold on. Compare tab. full screen it. I don't know. Why? Oh, here. All right, there's the after on the left. There's the before on the right. I'm sorry. I didn't do too good a job here either. This is Ula. Ugh. It's just this horse being on a hill is throwing me off. But okay, let's see. We have a hand here. And let me put this back. This is from Dawood. Okay, Dawood. I don't think there's much I can do here either. It's already cropped in super tight, but this is blurry. This is sharp. Generally, I don't like the reflection to be sharp at the expense of the foreground being sharp. Usually I like it the other way around in these kind of shots. If you can't get both of them sharp at the same time, get the foreground sharp and not the background. Just a personal preference. But I think I'm going to go black and white. And then I'm going to just mess with the shadows. Yeah, this is a throwaway. Okay, Randy. Maybe. I won't spend too much time on it because, yeah, I'm really struggling with this one myself. But let's see if we can pull something out of it maybe. And oh, a little split toning in here. I'm going to cut off right in here. That's better. That blurry hand was just too much of the image, but now most of the image is just the reflection, which is in focus. Let me try 4x3. That's not working too well. Square was better. I just wanted to frame just a little bit. Okay, good. And then a little heavier vignette, and then we'll call it. On the vignette. There. And okay. A little bit less blue. All right, let's call it right there. So there's the before and after. Yeah, the blurry hand was just too much of the image, the back here, so I just had to crop all of that out and just go with this and then vignette it. And now I think it's a little more interesting. the whole image. So it just needs to be just a tad darker, right? Maybe pull the highlights in and the whites in a little bit. Okay, that's good. All right, let's see. We got one here, and then I see a couple that came in. I'll do those next. So this is from Surge. Okay. I think I saw this in my forum. Surge did sort of a soft focus on this. But I'm going to square this off and just get these leaves. And what did we shoot? Probably at X20 again. Yeah. Excuse me. F2.8 16 millimeters. Okay. ISO 100. All good settings. Let's see. Black and white. No. Let me click auto here. Wow, that really crushed everything. A little bit too dark. See if we can separate the yellow out a little bit. And pull back the noise, color noise. And just sharpen up there. And see, maybe a little bit brighter. And then let's soften everything up like this. Oops. Good. And some vignette. Feather, feather. There. Crank up the reds and orange. Oh, that's the luminance. Saturation. Okay. Ah, this is a piece of bark hanging off a branch. That's what we're looking at. Uh, Basically, let me just crop in a little bit more maybe. Right there. And that didn't help. I was just trying to make it look a little softer, but I think I'll call it right there. All right, let's see. Let's compare. Oh, okay, there we go. There's the original on the left, my edit on the right. Maybe a little more contrast wouldn't hurt, but that's about where we're at. Yeah, I think we need to move on to the viewer edits. I really wanted to look at HKM and everybody, but I'll have to do it on Sunday. Let's go to the viewer edits because I'm running out of steam myself here. Okay, I'm sorry, HKM and Elaine. I'll have to do it on Sunday. Let's see. this off, take this off. All right. So the original was this one. This is the original image right here. And okay, so that's the original. Let's see what you guys did. Oops, turn the red off. There we go. Wow, nice. Really did a good job bringing up the shadows and everything. Who is this? This is from John Follows. This is pretty close to what I did. You also brushed out the cars that were kind of parked along the side of the road here. So, and I did the same thing on one of my edits. So this is pretty close to what I did, John. Very, very close. I was not quite as, I was a little bit softer on the skies, but I think everything else is really close. And this is from Bob. Okay, good job. Really focused on the sky and didn't do much down here. So, okay, but I like the wide crop. I like this being really wide. And the sky is awesome, but this part a little bit left out. Okay. And let's see, this is from John Yutze. What did you do? Just take the left side. So rather than brush out all the cars, you just pulled on the left side and pushed up the shadows and pulled the highlights because there's a little bit of a halo action going on here. So I can see you really push the sliders pretty strong, but this is a good edit though. Very soft edit. Yeah, a little bit too much halo from sliding things too much, but not bad, not bad. The halo part though is a problem. That does kind of mess up the rest of the image, but I like the crop. And that's probably why Bob didn't bother with bringing up the shadows. He was probably getting a halo effect, kind of like this is from Joni or Jowney. See, he's also not pushing the shadows too much because he doesn't want that halo either, I think. But this is a front and center crop and really beautiful job on the skies and the mountains. And just a little bit of work in the shadow area, but still really good. And yeah, that was a good one, right, Randy? And this is, oh, that's the original. Sorry, my bad. All right, this is from Scott Mumford. Very different. This is a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Pastel-y kind of colors, right? So this is an interesting edit. Like if you didn't see like everybody's edits at the same time, this would be really awesome. I really like the pastels and the skies and everything. And the mountains. It's just I would have cropped the foreground out a little more. If I was going to do all this with all this color up here, and then leave this down here is a little bit rough. So this is a good looking edit, except for I would have cropped out the bottom half if I was going to do this kind of editing. And somebody turned this into like an old like 110 film camera or something. Yeah, the sky is awesome, right, Randy? On Scott's, he did a really good job on the sky. This is from Kilowin. Okay, good job. This does look like an old photo print. That's pretty slick. Yeah, this is nice. And you know, leaving the cars in here, I don't know, somehow works with this edit. Like I would have thought taking the cars out would have been just kind of the first thing you do, but actually in this image, I like the cars being in there. I don't know why. And let's see. Wow, this is harsh. This is the opposite of pastel, right? This is more of a fire. Dave Nelson would like this if he's still here. See, this is Marcel Van Cotham. Good job, Marcel. Yeah, Marcel's been really hitting it out of the park lately with his edits. And yeah, this is another one. Really strong orange. Yeah, it looks like Marcel. You nailed it, Demorkin. It is Marcel's. All right, let's I know there's a slight delay on the chat, but let's see. This is probably Marcel too because the crop's exactly the same. Let's see. Yeah, Marcel, he did two edits. This one and then this one where he tried to save some of the color. This one is I like the one before better than this one. I just don't like the foreground in this image. It's just too busy. You know, I just realized if I hit the L key, I get like this oh, you can't see it when I do that though. Never mind. Oh, okay. Another one cropping to the left side of the image. This is great. This is a really nice edit. Serge, good job, Serge. I really like the crop and I like the editing, the way the mountains are. You really brought out the layers of the mountains, I think. Um, yeah, this is really good. And this one is from Ed Krisiak. Good job. I don't know why this is all black, but nothing came out. It must have got corrupted in the upload or something, unfortunately, or your export got corrupted. Okay, Demorkin, wow. You did put a flame. I remember you mentioned that in the last stream. But there's a flame in here. And what is this? Was this in the original? These lights? Wow. That's crazy though. But you still did manage to bring out some of the different tones in the mountains and the sky and the fire is the same color. That's cool. Okay, let's look at the next one. Wow, DeMorgan, this is a lot softer. So the other one was just for fun. So there was something down here. This must be, I bet this is the airport or something in the town down there. I think that's what that is. But yeah, DeMorgan, this is really nice. The plane was in the original. Plane, yeah. If you're talking about those lights at the bottom, I think that's actually an airport in the city down below. Or in the town or city, whatever. Down there, this is Shenandoah, and down there is the Luray, Virginia, and I think they have an airport. Yeah, I do like this one. It's very soft, very muted. I would have cropped it some more, but I do like the editing here. Very crisp but soft at the same time. Very muted colors. Oh, excuse me. This is a negative of some kind from Dawood. Wow. Okay. Man, David, if you're not cropping in down to 2 pixels, it's like you're, wow, this is crazy. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this one either. Even having some kind of weird problem with the Capture One release. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe check with Walter when he's in next week. I'm gonna have Walter on my live stream next week to do Capture One, talk about Capture One. Uh, and Adam says they showed up on my edit as well. Clone them out. Oh, okay. Oh, you guys, so there was actually an airplane in the original. Okay. I'm totally missing the conversation. My God, Adam, you're still here? You've been here for 4 hours with me? My goodness. Okay, this is a nice edit. Nice, dark. This is nice and dark. I like this. I mean, it's a very different look, but it's, who did this one? Dawood? Okay, Dawood, this is much better than the last one. I like this very, very dark. This is pretty close to the original in terms of the dynamic range. The camera didn't really capture it too well. Okay. Okay, HCam, we'll see you. I'll be back on Sunday. I'll try and get to yours on Sunday. I'm sorry I couldn't get to it tonight, but I'm seriously running out of steam myself. Um, okay. This is a great black and white. Who did this one? Dawood. Okay, Dawood, good job. This is yeah, I like the black and white a little better than your color. Oh, DeMorgan, you doing that 15K white balance? Wow, yeah, that's working. I think you posted that in my forum that you're doing these 15K white balances now. Okay, Dawood, this is a good job though on the black and white. Good work with the tones. Wow, what is this? This is like a couple of vintage shots here. This is from Serge. Okay, Serge, good job on the vintage. I wonder, yeah, if I full screen it, you can see a little better. Yep, I like the top one a little better, but okay. And this is from Ian. Okay, Ian. Yeah, a little bit overexposed for my taste, but I like the wide crop, definitely. And yeah, okay, so wow, it's really cropped in. That looks good. Okay. And wow, this is cropped in all the way to the right. Ian. It's funny how some people crop all the way to the left and then Ian's cropping all the way to the right. He's the only one. He likes the traffic there. But this is I think I think what happened is you were clipping the highlights in the left side, so you just cropped it all out. That's what it looks like what happened here. Oh, and that's the last one. Watching The Crown and listening and watching. Oh, okay. So you're multitasking your media consumption here. Okay, very good. All right. Let me see. I think I got that one. I'm just gonna show these two because a couple came in late. This is from Dragos. Wow, this is nice. This is a good edit. Um, Good job with the tones and the colors. And then one more from, oh, that's one I'm supposed to edit next. I'll get to those. These are edits. Yeah, here's one from Elaine. I'll have to edit this next week. I'm sorry, Elaine. All right, everyone. Um, I think, oh, of course, I'm not here. Why? Thanks everyone for joining me for another photo editing live stream. This was a long one. I'm sorry I couldn't get to the last couple for you guys, HKM and Elaine. I couldn't do it. But I'll definitely do it on I'll definitely do it for you on Sunday, okay, Elaine? I'll do them first when I come back on Sunday. So if you can't watch it on Sunday, if you watch the replay, it'll be very early in the stream. And now I'm feeling bad. I should just since you're still here, Elaine, I didn't know you were still here. Let me just do it now. Are you still here? I'll do it right now. Um, what day is the least edits? Usually Tuesday. Where's my mouse? Uh-oh. Did I lose my mouse? All right, there it is. Let me download it real quick. I know HKM left, but I'll have to, so I'll do yours on Sunday, HKM, unless you left. Uh, okay, Elaine, if you're still here, I'll do yours real quick. Let me synchronize this folder. All right, Ed, thanks. This one's just for Elaine because you don't come to my streams as often as you used to, but so since you're here, I'll do it. It's just to say Merry Christmas. Oh, that's nice. Thanks, Elaine. Merry Christmas to you too. Um, but I'm gonna edit this anyway. Straight out of camera, huh? Good job. Okay, so I'll just click auto there. We'll do auto here. And let's separate the colors a little bit. Oh, wait, you can't see the image. Hold on. Sorry. There we go. Let me reset it. This was the original. I'll click auto here. And good night, Ed. And then let's separate some colors a little more. Like so. Then we'll warm it up. And pull in the vignette. And the highlights. Pull the highlights just a little bit more. Bring this. Okay. There we go, before and after. Very small changes there. But that's the Christmas lights. Awesome. Okay, Elaine, Merry Christmas to you. Thanks for coming in. Hopefully we'll see you again before Christmas because I'm here like every day. But either way, I appreciate it. And again, thanks again for everyone spending some time with me tonight. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun seeing your edits, and I actually really enjoyed editing yours as well, but I just ran out of steam at the end. So HCAM, I will catch you on Sunday, hopefully, and the rest of you. So thanks again for coming in. We will, not every day, Elaine. Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday is when I come in. I might as well just do it every day, but uh, you know, I gotta stop to do other stuff sometimes. Okay, thanks again, guys. Take care.